Hi, welcome to the Lawn Game. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to be using Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow Quadrant to help explain the transition that you make from going from being an employee to being self-employed in your lawn care business. So if you haven't read the book, I highly recommend that you read it. It's a great book, and yeah, so I want to just focus especially today on the mindset of how you will think differently from being an employee working for someone else to being self-employed and being your own boss. So in the video, not everything I say is absolute truth. I'm going to speak in generalities quite a lot just because it helps make it easier to explain things. So in the book, he uses a diagram to explain the 4 different sources of income that you can have and where they come from. So this is what the diagram looks like. I'm sorry about that, it's a bit windy. Alright, so basically you have in the top left corner an E, in the bottom left corner an S, top right corner a B, and a bottom left corner an I. And so the E stands for an employee and the S stands for self-employed. And in the book he explains that what you're trying to do is go from the left side of this diagram to the right side, and the right side being B for business owner and I for investor. So in future videos I'm going to continue using Kiyosaki's Cashflow Quadrant to explain the transitions that you make through different stages of your lawn care business if you want to go that route. But today I'm just going to talk about transitioning from being an employee to being self-employed, so from E to S. Now the mindset of an employee is that you turn up to a job and you make a certain amount of money in an hour. Usually that's how it's done. And usually it'll be broken down into 1 hour. And so as an employee, you turn up and you're not really incentivized if you're thinking short term, which an employee is quite a short term minded thing a lot of the times, and you're really thinking about doing an amount of work and getting paid by the hour. And so as an employee, you can turn up to work, and if you're not feeling so good that day, you can have a poor performance and you can do less work and be less productive in that hour, and you're going to get paid the same amount. Or you might be feeling really good that day and put in a really good performance and be really productive and do extra work, but you're still going to be paid the same amount per hour. And that is a nice thing. There are definitely benefits to that because all you need to do is show up. And the price you pay for that luxury is higher taxation, because you can't claim expenses generally on what you earn. Now the difference between that and being self-employed is you need to take a longer term approach to your thinking. So when you're self-employed, if you turn up and you're not feeling very good that day and your productivity is down, then your pay is also down. And of course the reverse of that is if you're feeling really good that day and you work really quickly and really well, then your pay of course will increase by the hour. So being self-employed, you're really incentivized to increase your skills and to be more long-term thinking. And so one way that I can explain this in the lawn care business is, so when you're starting out, of course, you don't have high skills and you're not able to do a really high quality job in a very fast amount of time. And so let's just say you have a lawn which you charge $65 for. So when you're first starting out, let's say when you're starting out, you charge $65 for that lawn and it takes you 1 hour. So not only will you not be able to do the greatest job on that because you don't have the skills for it yet, but also it's going to take you longer to do that job. And so what you're trying to do as a self-employed person is you're trying to increase your skills so that you can do a better job faster. And how this translates into an increase in pay is that, let's just use this $65 lawn as an example. So when you're starting out, it takes you 1 hour to do that lawn. But say over time, over the next year, you increase your skills and you get better at that job and you're able to do the job faster and better. And so what used to take you 1 hour 1 year ago now takes you only 40 minutes. So that same job, you've now gone from earning $65 an hour to earning basically $100 an hour. And that's one of the advantages of being self-employed, and it's the way that you want to think. You always want to be thinking, how can I upgrade my skills? How can I do this job better? Because that's going to get you more clients and better jobs. And how can I do it faster? Because that's going to increase your rate of pay. So you want to be thinking like that as a solo operator. So I want to point out that what we're looking for with in a lawn care business is you're looking for loyal, ongoing clients. And in a future video, I'll talk about what your ideal client is. So it's really important that you know what your ideal client is, so that you know what you're reaching for and you know who you're going after. But what you're really looking for is loyal, ongoing clients. And so a way to do this is that I'm really big on this, is that for an initial visit, when you go and you do a quote for a client, a potential new client, is I always like to offer some additional service at no extra charge. And usually if you're getting approached by a new potential client, there is almost always extra work to do on their lawn to get it to a nice standard so that you can maintain it and it always looks nice. So some extra edging, or it might be, there might be some extra mowing, or perhaps even a weed treatment or something like that. But there's always some extra service that you can offer them at no extra charge. And I really like to do this because it adds value for them up front. And of course you take a pay hit, Maybe you don't earn, let's just use the $65 an hour example again. Maybe the first time you do the lawn, you say, I'll do the extra edging and the extra mowing at no extra charge. And let's say you go in and it takes you an hour and a half to do that job. So really you've done, at that rate that I'm saying, is you've done $100 worth of work, but you're only charging the client $65. Now, it's really important that you always tell the client that you've done this, and also up front when you offer them to this, that you're doing this at no extra charge, so they are aware of it. But they really like this because, of course, it just shows that you're willing to add value for them up front. And what I like about it is it makes them feel happy and that they're getting looked after, which is really, really important because, you could turn up to, for example, this lawn and there's some extra work to do, and maybe there's quite a bit of extra work to do. And you're like, this is $150 worth of work. So you could say to this client, it's $150 to do this work. But in the lawn care business, like I say, you're trying to get loyal, ongoing clients. And so you're really not thinking about that $150 that you could get today. You're thinking about the $65 that you're going to get every 2 weeks from then on. And so it's really important to think that way. Think about 1 year down the track, what that means for you to be getting $65 every 2 weeks from a good client who pays you well, who is happy with your services, will recommend you to their friends and family. How much more valuable is that than a one-time payment of $150 where you do the job, and to be fair, it never really looks great. If you're doing an overgrown lawn, it never really looks that great after the first mow. It looks a lot better, but it's still in bad condition. So you just kind of open yourself up to, you may get that $150 job that day, but then they may go and look for someone else for the services after that, because maybe they would feel better looked after by someone else. Whereas if you let them know you're going to do this extra work for them at no extra charge, they're going to trust you, they're going to know this person is looking after me, and that's how you create loyal, ongoing clients. So yeah, just to emphasize that, just provide extreme value up front. It's just really important. And again, it's that recurring revenue model that you're going after, and that's how you want to be thinking as a self-employed person. So I'm going to use a different example. This was from a few weeks back, and I had a massage, and what I had done to get this massage, I had back pain, and I really wanted to get this sorted out because it was interfering with my work. So the way I looked for this business to get this massage was I did a Google search, and I found the one that had 200 5-star reviews, and that's a lot of good reviews, so you can expect that that is going to be good. Now, I paid $110 for this massage, which was probably more expensive than almost every other massage I could have got, but I had a problem and I wanted it fixed. And of course I could have had a cheaper massage somewhere else, but I was looking for something that was really going to help me out. And so in this business, I just want to point out a few things which make me think this is a really great business and that this person is doing a very good job in their business and they're really thinking like a self-employed person. And so the first thing I want to say is about that the recurring revenue model in that business was really, really excellent. So when I turned up to get the massage, I sat in the office and I filled out the form, and there was another person who was coming in at the same time. And then there was also another person getting a massage with the owner of the business, and I wasn't getting a massage from the owner of the business, I was getting a massage from someone else. And so also this other masseuse was also giving a massage to someone else. So the person coming out of the massage from the guy I was getting it from, he came out and immediately the masseuse said, "And when would you like to book in for your next appointment?" So that's one example of them being aware of recurring revenue, is booking the person in for their next appointment. And so if we go back to the lawn example, this is the same as booking this person in for their next fortnightly mow. So that's the first example. Then the owner of the massage studio, he finished the massage with the person that was getting the massage with him. Same thing, making a new appointment with this person. So again, recurring revenue. And he also on his way out said hello to whatever the other person's name was that was sitting next to me in the waiting area. So again, this person is a repeat client, and this is the crucial thing in any business that you have, pretty much, that you have recurring revenue. It's really, really important. So then going on to the massage that I had. So this guy was great. He was super knowledgeable. He was asking a lot of questions about what my problem was and really pinpointing what it was, what the cause was of it, all of that sort of thing. And asking a lot of questions and really engaging with me, and again, making me feel like I was cared for. And also, towards the end of the massage, when he'd done a whole bunch of other things, he said, okay, I could do this thing, but I'm going to now do this and just sort of push on this area, because that's going to give you the most bang for your buck, as he said it today. So basically, again, that's upfront value. So he's making sure when I leave this initial massage that I'm feeling good, that I'm feeling better, and that I'm wanting to come back. And so he did that, and that was great. Now, after the massage, I went away. He asked about booking in for another appointment, and initially I said yes, but I booked the first one online, and I decided that I would actually do the next booking online. I wanted to check my schedule and make sure I didn't have to cancel an appointment or something like that. And so I went away, and yeah. But so after a couple of days, I got a message which had a personalized part from this masseuse that I saw, just checking in about my follow-up appointment, and also about how my massage was, how I was feeling, and if that had helped. But also within this message that I received, there was also a request to give a Google review, a 5-star review, and an offer that you get $10 off your next massage if you leave them a 5-star review. So I really liked this because they're giving me an offer which helps me, because of course I get money off, and everyone loves a discounted rate if I take them up on that offer. But they're also enticing me to give them a 5-star review, which adds to, of course, their credibility. And the way I think of Google reviews is, this is almost the same as a referral. So when you give referrals in your business, this is the ideal way you want to get business, because it's a client of yours already that is already satisfied enough for them to tell a friend or family or acquaintance that they recommend your service to their friend, family, or acquaintance. And so this person is much more likely to purchase from you and to also become a happy client. So I really like this. Now, the way I think of a Google review is when I look up on Google for a massage therapist and I find 200 5-star reviews, this is really 200 people referring me to this business, saying this is a good business, you should go here. This is their recommendation. That is essentially what that is. And so I really like that they reached out and asked for that. And I didn't take them up on the offer. So just as a little side note, what happened was I realized I go to Thailand a lot and I love getting Thai massages, and they're very, very effective for when I have like quite intense back pain or any sort of like really much more intense built up pain for initially relieving that. And so I decided, you know what, actually a Thai massage is going to be the thing that's going to benefit me the most. So I already decided I wasn't going to go back to the studio at this point in time. I was going to get a Thai massage instead. So I didn't take them up on the offer, and a few days later then I also received another message again asking for the Google review and also offering me $20 off this time. So I really like this because they are continuing to follow up and to give me an offer to then go on to become an ongoing client. And like I say, I was very happy with the massage, it was great, and I have left them a Google review, a 5-star, so I have now my $20 off sitting there, and I will go back there at some point. It's just that I wanted to get that initial Thai massage to relieve the pain. So excellent business. I really like that, and that's just an example and a way of thinking as a self-employed person, and also getting towards also being a business owner. And it's long-term thinking. It's thinking of all of these different ways that you can add value to a client and bring in more business from more people like that good client of yours. So my advice when you're starting out is add extra value up front. Don't worry about what you're getting paid up front. Just make sure you tell the client that they're getting a really good deal, but give them that value because they will love you for it. And that is really what you want, is, like I say, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years down the track, and you're still getting $65 every week, every 2 weeks, whatever it may be. And you can build other services. You can offer your other services to them. You know, you can offer them hedge trimming, whatever it is that you want to offer. And not only is that client then worth $65 a week or fortnight, but then you're offering new services to them and they're becoming a better client, and you have the opportunity to get referrals from that client, to get new people into your business, and your business grows exponentially that way. So that's pretty much what I want to say about that. In future videos, I'm also going to refer back to Kiyosaki's Cashflow Quadrant to discuss the transition from being self-employed to business owner, and then business owner to investor. And so just a little bit of what that transition looks like is from being a part-time employee, starting your own little side hustle lawn business, which is really cool and a really exciting and liberating time. At least it was for me, and I'm sure it would be for you if that's where you're at now, or if that's what you're thinking about doing. Really, I just urge you to go for it because it's just great, you'll love it. And then going from being part-time in your business to being your own boss and working full-time in your business for yourself, creating your own income and your own schedule, having your own freedom and your own flexibility, charging your own prices, setting your own hourly rate, and living that life. And then from hiring your first employee to hiring your first crew, and then to getting out of the field and operating from behind the scenes, being a business owner, and then from being a business owner with great profits, using your profits to invest elsewhere and becoming an investor. And that's the progression, and that's what Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow Quadrant is all about. From employee to self-employed, and that's great, but you're doing your own work in those two positions, to being business owner and investor, where you're no longer required in your income production. And that's really where you want to aim to be, in my view. Anyway, if you're happy being a solo operator, that's great, and you should definitely do that. And I hope this video was really, really useful for you to help you get into that position. So if you haven't read Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow Quadrant, give it a read. It's a great book. Also Rich Dad, Poor Dad, transformational book, fantastic book. I recommend that you read those two books. So if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to see what you got to say below. And like and subscribe if you find that interesting. I'll be doing more videos like this in future, but specifically about the lawn care business, getting everything you want out of it, the most freedom, the most flexibility, whatever it is that you want, and really breaking it down to be of most benefit to you. So thank you very much for watching, and lovely evening. Have fun. Bye.